Hey guys, how's it going? It's Amanda. So Google has offered the Nexus 5X along with the Project Fi service for $199. And this is an insanely cheap phone and service if you live in an area that they have coverage. Also, I want to give a big thanks and shout out to Google for sending this out for review. So as I unbox this, I'm going to go ahead and explain a little bit about Project Fi and how it works. So reading from their website, it says, get access to two 4G LTE networks. Traditionally, phones can connect to only one tower. With Project Fi, your phone can access the best of two 4G LTE networks so you can connect to more towers and get fast speeds in more places. Plus, it connects at home to your Wi-Fi. And this all costs you $30 a month starting out. So for $30, you get unlimited calls and texts. And then from there, you have 1 gigabyte of data. If you want 2 gigabytes, it's an extra $10. 3 gigabytes, an extra $10 on top of that, so it'd be $30 more instead of the original $10. But if you don't use all 3 gigabytes and you only use 1 gigabyte, it's carried over for next month's bill. So you're not charged, or I guess you're charged for it, but they give you a credit. So next month, if you don't have all 3 gigabytes used, you have that extra gigabyte or 2 gigabytes for that month. So you can use 4 gigabytes, but still only be charged the 3 gigabyte price. So I live in a very rural area, and Project Fi does not work in my area. In fact, Sprint doesn't work in my area. Verizon doesn't work in my area. AT&T does work in my area, but it's even a little bit shady in this area. So I definitely live in an area that's not the best coverage. But ironically, once Project Fi got here, it works. I can't explain it. I don't know what's going on. Not just in my home where it's connected to Wi-Fi. I knew I'd be able to use it at home with my Wi-Fi, but when I'm out, it's been working. So that's a good positive sign. And let's go ahead and talk about this setup process now. So basically, you put your SIM card in, and that's where we're at now. It wants you to connect to your Wi-Fi so it can start getting all the things processed through your phone. And it said it's going to take up to 2 minutes. It took just a few seconds short of 2 minutes, but most of the processes took way longer than they said they would. So this says my phone needs an update. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. It says here it can take up to 5 minutes to download. I kid you not, this may have took 20 or 30 minutes even to download. It took a very long time. In fact, I set my phone down and kind of got some of the other things ready to go and kept picking it up and checking it, and it just took forever. So be prepared. This is not a super fast process. And honestly, anytime I've got a phone from AT&T or Sprint and try to activate at home, it's always chaos. So kind of go into this whenever you're ready to just deal with this and nothing else and not a lot of other things on your mind. So it says it's about to restart. It's going to update the Android system. And I didn't expect this, but I have to do this so many times during this process. But again, just set your phone down, walk away, come back in a little bit. It'll all restart and things will be ready to move on to the next step. So once this is all installed and we start moving forward, you'll see that the process itself is simple. It's just that it takes a lot of frustrating steps to get there. And again, this is not just an exclusive Project Fi issue, although I do have a big issue later, but we'll talk about that then. So here it says insert SIM, which kind of confused me because my SIM card is in there. But then finally it says select your Wi-Fi again, and I hit next, and it's going to go ahead and connect to my Wi-Fi. So for this next step, you do as you please, but I'm going to suggest once we get there, it's going to ask us if you want to back up your phone. I highly suggest setting this up as new. And the reason for that is once you click yes, you want to restore it, it's going to add every single app and everything on your phone. And then it's going to ask you to update your software multiple times. But right now, I'm just going to go ahead and set up as new and click next. So now it wants me to add my Google information, so I'm going to add that real quick and sign in and go ahead and accept. So it says checking info, and this part I sped up a lot because it took a very long time, and it's just asking us to accept more things, and so I click next, and now it says activating Project Fi. So it looks like we are successful. It says welcome to Project Fi and gives us a little information on the screen. I'm going to click continue and it's going to say just a sec. That sec was minutes and minutes and minutes. So definitely, again, just be prepared to sit around and wait for some of these processes to happen. So now it's asking us if we want to add another email, and I just want to keep everything simple, so I'm just going to click not now. It asks me if I want to protect my phone, and so I'm going to go ahead and click yes on that, and we are going to set up my fingerprint sensor fingerprint sensor scanner, whatever you want to call it. But then it's going to ask us all these other questions, and it's just about doing things like pins and starting up. Do you want to require them? So I'm just going to enter 1111, click through this just as fast as possible. So the next question is just addressing, do you want your notifications to be on the screen in case you got some secret texts or emails or something strange coming in you may want to hide? Yeah. So now we're setting up the fingerprint. It's just going to ask you to place your finger over the sensor multiple times, and it's just going to register, and then you click next. It's just added and it's done. And now it says just a sec. Now it asks us if we want to back up. And this is the part I said I highly suggest just set it up as a new device. That's my personal preference. Maybe you want to do it otherwise, but it's going to multiple times restore and add an update, and it takes a very long time to process when you have a bunch of apps on there if you're not familiar with this, but it can be a huge pain in the butt. So here you can see I have the Project Fi emblem, but it says unverified address, and this causes me some huge issues, which will not be a problem for most of you. I'll go into some more details of that, but for now we're just going to activate full network coverage. It lets us know that it's going to finish the activation process and it's going to briefly disconnect us. So I'm just going to accept all that, and now it says completing activation, and you can still use your Wi-Fi, but it's not going to have actually service. So now it's installing all of the updates and necessary restarting everything. And here you can see it says Android is optimizing your apps 3 of 5. This is where if you have 150 apps, it will take an insane amount of time. So I've got an email now from Google saying that I have my service activated. I got another notification saying it's activated, but the problem is I left my house, I went to lunch, or dinner actually, and came back, and my phone would work. I could use my maps, I could pull up things, but I couldn't make any phone calls. It says unknown number here. And I live in a house that if you put the address in from Google, you can't find my house. AT&T will not sell me a cell phone because it says this is an incorrect address. I had a really hard time getting Wi-Fi connected, things turned on in my home. This is just a unique problem with my specific address. So it took me almost a full day to get service restored. I had to contact them. Long story short, I gave them my parents' address, and now it's all working. And this is just the setup process. If you guys want to see more questions about the actual service or thoughts or feelings, I haven't planned to make another video covering more of that, but this is getting really long-winded now. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. If you guys like this video, please hit a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.